What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cook This with Tony. Today we're going to be making a dish that's not very common here, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you haven't heard of, and I'm sure a lot of you have. That's why you're probably searching for this video here on YouTube. And this dish is called Carne Apache, which in English I think means Apache meat, right? So this dish is very similar to, I want to say, ceviche, but instead of having either shrimp or fish, it's made with ground beef. So anyways, let's get on it. The ingredients you're gonna need for this dish, of course, is gonna be first a pound of ground beef. You're gonna need about 7 or 8 limes, 2 avocados, 4 tomatoes, depending on size. I like to use the Roma tomatoes, which are pretty small, so I use 4 of them. 2 onions. I like to use sweet onion. You could use either yellow, white, or sweet. Half a cabbage, a small bunch of cilantro, a small can of pickled jalapenos, and it could be any brand. Doesn't have to be this brand, but this is my favorite brand. And also, of course, salt and tostadas. And you know what? I found these today at Vaughn's, which I've never seen before. I think it's something new. They're called they're Guerrero tostadas, but they have tajin, you know, that chili powder on them. So I'm gonna try these out today with the meal, with this dish. Or you can just use regular, you know, your regular tostadas. All right. So the first thing we're gonna want to do is, of course, get the ground beef. And I think this is gonna be the longest. The thing that takes the longest to make this dish is gonna be the ground beef, because you have to actually leave it marinating overnight. You know, you want to go ahead and get the ground beef, pour it into a bowl, and you're gonna squeeze the 7 or 8 limes of you know, the juice of the limes into the meat. And this is what's gonna actually cook the meat. You know, the acid in the lemon juice, the lime juice, is gonna cook the meat. And you know what? Online, I did see that a lot of other people say that just to leave the meat for about 4 or 5 hours cooking with the lime juice. But I'm a little, you know, I get a little scared when it comes to, like, you know, eating raw meat. So what I do, I leave it overnight. So, you know, it maybe about 10-12 hours in the lime juice, and it cooks very well. So after you do that, I'm not gonna go ahead and put this meat here because I already prepared some last night. So I just want to show you, you know, the kind of meat I use. I use the ground beef, pour it into the bowl. And so let's go ahead and do that with the ground beef that I prepared last night. So I already have the ground beef here. And as you can see, if you guys can see this, the ground beef actually is a different color. You know, after it cooks with the lime juice, it changes color. So, you know, this one's ready to go. So let's go ahead and pour this ground beef into this bowl. We'll just pretend that we left it marinating, right? Although it happened yesterday. All right. So we'll put the meat here, and now we're gonna go ahead and start adding our veggies. And like I said, this is the longest process from doing this dish, is just leaving that meat cooking with the lime juice. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the onions. That's usually what I always put first in the dish. So let's go ahead and start with the onions. And you know what? These you could cut them to whatever size you prefer. A lot of people like to cut their veggies real small, you know, real fine. But I actually like, for some reason, I like my veggies, you know, a little chunkier, I want to say. Yeah. So anyways, if you guys have had this dish before, you know, go ahead and comment down below and tell me, you know, how was it the first time you had it? Because I remember the first time I had this, I must have been, I want to say, about 7 years old. And the thing is, when my dad made it, I remember I was kind of debating if I was going to eat it or not, because, you know, of course, having ground beef, and it's not, you know, being cooked the usual way, you know, with heat, with fire. So I was a little scared to try it at first. But then once you see people around you, you know, eating it and talking about how good it is, then of course you get tempted. All right. Yeah, so that I think was the first time I had it. At least that's how I remember it. So, all right. Now we put the onions into the bowl with the meat. All right, so after we put the onions, you do want to start mixing it, you know, because you want to have the meat and the veggies mix real well. And I like to mix it right now. Every time I put one of the other ingredients, one of the other veggies, I mix it. It just makes it easier. So at the end, once you put everything, you know, it's pretty much done. Instead of trying to mix everything once everything's in, especially with the tomatoes, because the tomatoes tend to break apart. All right. So now that we mixed that, let's go ahead and start with the cabbage. And again, for this video, I'm not gonna cut the cabbage as fine as I usually do, because I don't want to make this video super long. This is almost like more like just to show you what ingredients you need, and you know, more of that than you know how exactly the veggies have to be cut. All right. And you know what? That's another thing I found online, that there's a lot of people that don't put the cabbage into it. So I don't know if maybe that's something just my dad ended up, you know, adding later on, just as maybe to make it more, you know, make it more, you know, a bigger dish for more people to eat. But yeah, so that's another thing that I found, that, you know, a lot of people don't put the cabbage into it. But you know, since I kind of grew up with my dad doing it that way, I got used to it. So, and you know what, I think another thing also that I saw online, which was kind of different, and I think I remember my dad doing that a couple of times, was actually adding what is it called, cucumber. But the thing is, I don't like the cucumber because it I did try it one time, and it just seemed to water down the dish, you know. So, but I did see online that a lot of people do like it that way, and I don't know, it just, to me, it just wasn't, you know, it ended up changing the flavor of the dish as I remember it as a kid. All right, so let's go ahead and add the cabbage. And again, we just give it a quick mix. All right. So after this, I like to add the Roma tomatoes. And like I said, you know what, this dish is very similar to ceviche, basically. You know, it's almost all the exact same ingredients, except for, I think, ceviche, sometimes people put ketchup in it, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, I've done it with ketchup and without ketchup, but it is you know, optional. I remember I used to have friends come over to the house sometimes, and they would ask me to make it, because they were very curious about it, you know, because I had told them about it, and to them it was just weird having, you know, cooking ground beef with with lime juice. So I did end up making it for a few people, and you know, everybody seemed to like it. I even had a friend that used to, you know, when he would go over and I would make the dish, he would actually just eat it in a bowl with a spoon, which was a little crazy, but you know, I like to eat it with tostada. Even better, you know, if you're able to make your own tostadas at home, which I do sometimes. You know, sometimes I will make my own tostadas just to you know, because they come out, I don't know, taste a lot better than from a bag. And like I said again, guys, I'm not gonna be cutting these veggies, you know, like as small as I usually do, because I just wanted to show you guys, you know, just to make a quick video. All right. So last but not least, we're gonna add well, actually not last, because we still have to add the jalapenos. But let's go ahead and add the cilantro. And you know what, guys? I need to get me a regular table in here, because I'm using like a picnic table, and it seems to move a lot. I know you guys at home probably watching this are like, why is there an earthquake or something going on? But it's just a cheap table that I'm using to cut the veggies on, because I am filming. I'm not filming in my actual kitchen. I'm filming in the studio. All right. So if I had a better knife, I would cut this a lot finer, but unfortunately right now I don't. So we'll just go ahead and add the cilantro. And at this point, there is something that I like to mention. I like to add a couple more limes now that the the veggies are in there, because I do want some of that the acid on the actual vegetables too, not just the meat. So let's go ahead and do that. And also, you know what, before I add this last lime, let's go ahead and put our salt. So the salt, you could put depending on how much salt you like on your food. I usually like it a little bit a little more salt than usual. So let's go ahead and put, I want to say I put about, I don't know, about four teaspoons of salt, maybe, or 5. And let's go ahead and put the rest of the lime. And of course, once you serve yourself some of the carne apache on a tostada, you could actually add more salt if you'd like, if you like a little if you like a little saltier. All right. And we're also going to go ahead and add this ingredient, which is the jalapenos. And here's a little thing that I started doing that my dad didn't really do. He would just use fresh jalapenos. I actually started using pickled jalapenos because they're always in the pantry. You always have them when you need them. But not only that, I started throwing some of the what do you call it, the vinegar that's in the can into the bowl, and that seems to give it a little flavor too. And I noticed that I wasn't the only one that does that, because I went online to check other people's ingredients, and there's other people that do the same thing. So it wasn't, this is not my invention. I think it was more of I guess everybody just thought about it. But let's go ahead and mix it. It almost, this reminds me a lot of like pico de gallo almost, but with meat. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. So now, of course, I do like to have avocado. This is optional. You don't have to put the avocado, but I love avocado, so I put avocado in everything I can. So now that we have our avocado ready, and I'm not gonna cut very much of it right now. I'll do that later when I actually eat. So now, the last thing is gonna be, of course, the jalapeno. And this one, I usually put about, I want to say 2 or 3 jalapenos into the meal, into the bowl. But today I'm just gonna put 1, because it is kind of late and I don't want to be eating something too spicy right now. All right, I'll put this in there. And give it another mix. I think the jalapenos there more just to give it a little bit more, a little bit more flavor. It's not really going to be spicy. I think the spiciness is going to come more from the tapatio you put on top of this. All right, so now we get our tostada. So then all you do is just get some of the meat. I think I went a little overboard here. And I know this probably doesn't look, as good as it tastes. It tastes better than it looks, basically. But like I said, I don't know, for some reason to me it looks a lot like almost like pico de gallo, just with of course the ground beef. right, well, I think that's pretty much it right there. Let's go ahead and put this plate here for you guys to see. So then after that, of course, you get your little avocado, put it on top. And I love avocado, so I usually put a lot of avocado. And final touch, of course, would be the tapatio. Alright. And if you'd like, of course, you could cut another lime and just squeeze another lime on top of that. But I think I'm good with that. And I think that's it. Well, there you go, guys. That's how you make a carne apache. Of course, like I said, you could chop up the veggies a lot finer and make it a lot neater. But right now it's just, you know, just a quick, so you guys know the ingredients and how to mix everything up. Alright, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And you know, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. I know I'm kind of new to this whole like filming myself making food on, you know, on YouTube. So have patience with me. I'm sure I'll get better as the videos go, you know, as I make more videos. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.